Jim and Terry Show still coming to you from the Habitable Studio in Bob Cage, and I'm Terry.
I'm Jim, and I'm pretty curious, Terry, about a number of things.
Did Curiosity kill the cat?
It may have.
Did Curiosity stop the rover on Mars?
Did it?
No.
Okay, there you go.
Curiosity led to the rover going to Mars, and I thought it was a great name for a rover on Mars.
Yeah, it is a great name for that.
So Curiosity, it's a name of a streaming service where you can subscribe and for a
They're
monthly
not paying
fee.
us anything. Why are you giving them this?
Oh, maybe Curiosity can sponsor us. The Jim and Terry Show is sponsored by Curiosity Stream.
No, now, are we in trouble now?
Why? Because
Allegedly or something? Can we just say that when it's not happening?
It's not happening.
All right.
But I said it as if it were.
Which means now if we say something Curiosity
Which means
don't
no,
like,
we need to go after Curiosity Streams and get them to sponsor us.
why can't it be Fender guitars?
Well, why not? Start with Fender. Let's start with Fender. I would like a Fender guitar. I've never had one in my whole life. I would like one.
I got 4 at home.
You've got 4 and I have none.
3 of them are mine. 1 is unable to be played, and 1 is my son's in Calgary.
I have one of my favorite guitars of all time was the Fiberglass Roundback Ovation.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
you don't have it anymore?
No, I still have it.
Okay.
The face is cracked below the saddle, and it probably needs to be done something with. And I'm not what do they call those people? A luthier?
You take it to someone who knows how to do that.
Yeah, but I'm afraid that the labor involved in repairing that crack to the finish would be more than the value of the guitar.
Is it playable?
Yeah.
Just carve Willie Nelson's name into it or something.
I just put a sticker or racing stripes along that crack because it does go in a straight line.
Sure.
Put a racing stripe on it. That's my solution to all things. That was a 70s solution. You buy an old car, put a racing stripe on it. Makes it look sharp. You know?
Even though it's a
a bucket of bulls.
What was that city thing? What was it called? Oh, I had one. A Civic.
You had a Civic.
I had
Honda
a
Civic.
brand new Honda Civic. I loved the little car, but the engine was like I don't know, 1 cylinder.
Do you remember the old Civics, the original Civics, or is that the one you're talking about?
They were very
square
small box. A square box. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
It's very small and tight.
Yeah.
If you like small spaces, the Habitable Studio is specially designed for you.
This could be a little bit bigger. I keep telling you.
Well, the Civic was pretty small.
Sell this place and get a bigger.
I think
studio.
you sat right beside the driver and the passenger had elbow to elbow.
Pretty well.
I don't know how, like the passenger.
It was a Honda-matic.
Honda-matic. I was going to say.
Just means it was automatic.
Oh, okay. That's
2 gears or something.
Tough to do automatic on such a small thing because there's no torque.
Well, I don't know. It didn't last long.
No. But
well, we killed
Honda's
it.
made some big strides since those days.
We killed it. So.
Oh, you took an axe to it.
Well, the band went out west, and for 2 weeks, my wife and my 2-year-old son traveled out with another woman and her children.
In the Civic?
In the Civic, loaded with a roof rack, loaded into the mountains.
Wow. Did they pedal uphill?
It made it, Terry.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, it made it.
Hardly a car designed for the Rockies.
Yeah. So I didn't stick around long. My Acadian didn't either, if I think about it. When I had my computer company, I had AdNet Computer Supplies on an Acadian. Now I think about it, that probably wasn't the best move.
I don't know.
I actually got calls from people who saw it on the car.
Really?
Yeah.
They jotted it down?
Jotted the number down, and not only that, I picked like a very dark burgundy color lettering on a dark gray car, so you couldn't see it unless you were running.
How did people copy it
I
down?
have a psychological desire to fail, okay?
I'm curious about that, Jim. Why do you have that desire to fail? Isn't that interesting?
That's the last show.
Why do we do that is the last show. So this one, I'm curious about why we do that.
All right.
I'm just curious about all kinds of things. In fact, as we age, we need something called neuroplasticity, or we become stuck like a vinyl groove that's worn in a 45 or a 33 and a third, the old LPs. When your favorite track is worn?
It's not old anymore now. They probably have brand new ones that you and me don't even know about. They're probably thinking, what are those guys doing talking about this modern technology?
Oh, vinyl.
The vinyl.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious about why vinyl made its comeback.
They say the quality's better, but apparently it really isn't. Apparently
There's-
scientists did some studies, and it's not
I gotta
better
say,
at all.
we made the answer to why we do things in a previous podcast about comfort. There was something comforting about adjusting. Do you remember the dots on the
Yeah.
turntable? And you could slow it down and match it so the speed was the right speed, and then you just lift the needle off and you put it on the first track and you let it go, and you have an oil dampened. It just goes down and starts getting into the groove.
That's almost sexy, Terry.
Wow, okay, you need some more coffee or something, my friend.
No, I never owned a turntable, but I did use. I knew how to.
You
work.
never play records on
No, I played records, but I never owned a turntable myself.
Really?
Yeah, the only
Not even the old Disney one where you
No.
open the box and the lid comes
No,
up and you put the little 45 of
No, the last one I had
It's
like
a small
that.
world after all.
I had
It's a
one of
small-
them. I did have one of them. But I think it was given to me, but it might have been my sister's, and I turned it into a strobe light.
Now that's creative.
I'm creative. I almost blew the house up once with just your little teeny toy chemistry set. I just added a few other items I found around the house.
Like gasoline.
No, it was more like hand cream.
Siphoned it out of your dad's
Just
car.
as my mom and dad pulled in the driveway, I had this test tube on the end of a steel fishing rod over a candle.
Well, you were at least smart to put the distance in there. 5-foot fishing
And
rod.
just as they pulled in the driveway, broke the stupid fishing rod in half.
Wow. Well, you're up to no good. Well, I'm curious why you're up to no good all the time.
I-
You
what?
Shooting
I
yourself in the
built it- I
foot, blowing
built-
stuff up?
I
What
built
is
an
with that?
amplifier out of the TV that was being discarded, even though it's warning all over it said, don't come here, high voltage, all the rest of it.
You ignore stickers too. Do you
Yeah.
read instructions? When you buy something, do you read the
I
instruction manual?
try.
Reading is not your
Yeah.
strong point, but instructions.
Yeah, I
Comes with
try.
instructions, batteries not included.
I like buying things that are like together.
Already put together.
Yes.
I'm curious about how to put stuff. So I what is it, IKEA? That comes with all these things that you have to screw together and put
Yeah,
together in
yeah.
different ways. Very creative stuff in terms of furnishings and how to assemble stuff and pack it all flat.
Was that how they're marketing? This will help your curiosity.
Well, no, but it helped mine because if I can't figure out where this screw, then you end up with 5 screws left over
yeah.
and a shelving unit that has 155 screws. And where did these go? What did I miss?
Well, that middle of the night when you hear clink,
yeah,
they were
everything
meant to
has a
go
purpose.
somewhere.
If it's well designed, and maybe we can swing this over. I'm curious about the creationist view is called intelligent design.
yes,
So I'm curious about that because it does seem to be that there are some things that you really struggled, not you personally, but people struggle to explain things. And when we can't explain things, we say, it's got to be God.
well, maybe that's that built-in God thing again.
The God gene.
The God gene. I mean, I find it funny because I have atheists that when they get upset, they say Jesus. They don't say Muhammad. They don't say Buddha. They just say Jesus.
That's a cultural predilection
I
to
guess.
assault.
But I find it interesting.
I do too.
Yeah. And not once, not twice, every time.
Yeah, so when you invoke the name of, a
Lord.
sacred name, and you invoke it as a curse, it's not very intelligent. It's not very aware. It's not
just
very woke.
It's just a funny knee jerk reaction, I think, from that kind of source. You know,
I think it's a cultural thing. I just think Christianity's been around, and Jesus as a pejorative has always been around too. Oh,
yeah.
JEESUZ.
I don't know.
Jesus.
It might even be something embedded in them. Like, I mean, the same person. I remember one time I was at a prayer meeting, and the person asked me, "What did you pray about?" I said, "Actually, funny enough, I prayed for you." Don't do that. I'm saying to myself, you don't even believe in God. What's the panic here?
Yeah,
Like, what do you think's going to happen?
Well, here's someone who might be more inclined towards the atheist camp now myself. I would say thank you very much.
Yeah, I didn't understand the
Yeah, I don't understand
the
that.
shock and the concern.
Yeah.
Which leads me to believe that sometimes atheists aren't atheists; they're just mad at God.
Or they're just mad people.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what can I tell you? I'm
very
very
curious.
grateful that I'm a Christian and I believe in Jesus. I'm totally grateful about that. And
But that's a choice.
I feel well. Yeah, it's a choice, but there's a
You had your come to Jesus moment.
there's that
You made a choice.
The inner dwelling of the Holy Spirit, the inward dwelling of it, that testifies to it to you, and it's hard to explain if someone doesn't have that. What can I tell you?
I hear the language, but now I hear it more from looking at it from the outside, looking in, and there's a
just
lot
Christianese,
of
that's all.
there's a lot of Christianese, a lot of theological bafflegab that is used. I'm not sure intentionally to confuse people, but it certainly does accumulate in theology books.
Yeah, I don't apologize for it. I'm a Christian. I speak Christianese.
You don't have to apologize for it. I understand the language.
Yeah. You're an
I'm just
interpreter.
not sure
You could
about
be an interpreter.
I am not
See?
certain about this stuff anymore.
You could have a
and that's-
whole atheist class. and
Yes,
just
I
say,
could
I'm
interpret.
the interpreter.
Oh,
Here's what they mean by
Here-
this.
here
Yeah,
Christians
yeah.
over here. You
Yeah.
can sit there, and the
And this
atheist.
is what he means by
Atheists
that.
can sit on the left because goodness knows we know they're godless, and I will interpret in the middle for those of you who are leaning either way and move across the pews. Yeah. Isn't that funny? I'm curious about how that all develops. The anger over religion. Why would you be angry?
Yeah, I don't. I think it only happened once. You know, like I
Does
know.
it generally happen?
I know it's not a comfortable like saying the name of Jesus. Sometimes with certain people I'm around, you can tell it gets them. You can say any other name, but
So
you
do you
can't say
think
his
they
name.
are demon possessed?
No, I just think it's
Why
such
does the name of
I
Jesus
think
do
it's-
something?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them. Part of it may be demon possessed. I don't know. There are people. I believe that people have demons. So I don't mean people are demons. Don't mistake that. But I do think people have demons.
Do
Same as I
demons
believe
walk
people have the Holy
along? Do
Spirit.
demons walk among us like aliens?
Yes.
Maybe aliens are demons.
Well, they look for someone to be in,
Ooh.
to possess.
Okay, well, best not invite them in like Dracula.
Don't invite
Don't
them
invite them in. Bang the garlic by the windows. Bye bye for now.
Bible will do.